Hey everyone, so I wanted to make my first video, basically jump straight into it on what I've been doing and kind of go over my process of reselling jewelry. And I'm also going to be doing storage unit flipping where I buy abandoned storage units and I'll go through it and kind of show you what I do to make a living. I recently left my day job to make this my full-time job, so I'm spending every day just trying to streamline what I'm doing. So I'm pretty new at everything, but I've been doing it for about a year, so I have some experience. So I just wanted to kind of film everything I do. So what I'm doing today is I have a bunch of jewelry that I got in the mail. I ordered this as a lot, so I'm going to go through each piece. It should all be silver. And then I have some necklaces that I'm also going to go through, and here they are. You can see most of them. There's more on there, but I don't want to move the camera to mess up the view. Okay, so we'll just start really quick. Let's see here. So I have a puffy heart pendant, it looks like. Definitely hollow. Really light. I guess I'll see exactly what I can show you what the weight on it is. I weigh everything, and most people weigh everything in grams when it comes to jewelry. So let's see here. Got 3 grams. Okay, so it's pretty light. It doesn't need too heavy of a chain. And then it looks like we've got some hallmarks on it. Let's see if I can zoom in real quick. We've got 925, which lets us know that is sterling silver. We've got an F. That's probably the maker's mark. And then Italy. Alright, I don't think there's any more markings on it. It's got really nice aging on it. That's pretty nice. A lot of people prefer that on their vintage jewelry. Cool. So that's a really nice piece. I guess I'll put that right here for now. Oh no, I'm gonna weigh some other jewelry. Let's see. The next one is a sterling silver ring, and this one is a B. So these are pretty nice rings. This probably doesn't weigh too much. Let's see here. 3, just like the other. Cool. And I always carry a ring sizer because when I put a listing up, you really want to make sure you know what the size is. So we'll make sure to get that down so it's nice and snug. Right about there. So this ring's a little bent. That's alright. So I'd call that right on the 8. So it's a size 8B ring. Okay. Looks pretty good. Cool. And then let's see if we can find markings on the inside. Oh, there we go. We've got a 925, and wow, that is really dirty. It does not look like silver in there. It's from all the probably accumulated sweat from the person who last wore this. But it is really cool, and there's a lot of people who have a preference for wearing jewelry that has their initial or someone they like's initial on it. So cool. I'll add that one to the pile. And next we've got a cubic zirconian silver ring. This is really just kind of a standard ring. There's not too much about it. Cubic zirconia is not super popular. For some reason people think it's cheap when you have those type of gems, anything that's lab grown, but I mean, it's still pretty. So let's see here, what do we got in there? We've got, I think that says 925. Hard to see. Yeah, that's a 925. ATI China. Okay. So a 925 ATI China. That's cool. It's a pretty ring. What size is it? Oh, I apologize for my dirty fingernails. Kind of gross when you zoom in. Let's see here. Alright, I'd say it's a little bit. It's a little. I'd call it an 8. Honestly, that'd fit an 8 pretty comfortably. It's really pretty. And the fact, I mean, a lot of people think just because it says China on the inside, because you'll find a lot of jewelry that has China stamped in it. It doesn't mean it's cheaply made. That's just the source it's from. China actually produces a lot of really high quality silver jewelry and gold jewelry and every other jewelry. It's just, there's a really common misconception that China pumps out cheap jewelry, but I think every country kind of has its market of cheap jewelry. But this is a really cool piece. That went to the pile. Alright, this one is a little scarab charm or pendant. I'd probably call it a charm because this bail is more for like a bracelet or charm bracelet. But it is a silver enamel scarab. I'm sorry, a blue enamel with silver metal. And the reverse is a little raised picture of the scarab. That's actually really cool. I like that. Little 3D scarab guy. Really small though. Yeah, about half an inch. This guy doesn't have any markings. I had these, the place these came from, they were XRF tested, which is a little radiation gun that will read the different metals that are inside of it, but this one's not marked, which makes me think that it probably came from a bigger set. But some jewelry is not marked, but it's a really cool piece. I really like it. Probably weighs maybe a gram, maybe 2 grams. Yeah, 2 grams. Cool. Oh, and then that ring I never weighed. 2.5. Oh, 3. Yeah, 3. Okay, so everything's about 3 grams. The scarab, which is much smaller, is 2. That makes sense. Alright, and then we got this little pendant of a flower with a pink gemstone. I don't know gemstones very well. Most gemstones from silver sets are usually lab, but not always. Sometimes it's just a non-precious. Okay, so we've got S Fiore 925. I'm not familiar with that brand, but it's cool that they were able to stamp that on this tiny little pendant. Super tiny. See what it weighs. 1.5. Okay, it's about our smallest one so far. Alright, now we've got a Celtic cross. This one's pretty cool. Got the 925 stamped in there. Anyone who doesn't know, 925 just means it's 92.5% sterling silver content. So 92.5 means sterling silver. So if it said just sterling, then it would be 92.5. But that is the standard throughout most silver jewelry. Every once in a while you'll get 950, 980, 930, 900, 800, etc. It really depends. Most of the older jewelry has odd stamping and different regional pieces. But this is a really cool piece. I like this. There's not too much about it. It's just a simple little Celtic cross. Let's see what it weighs. 2.5. Alright, our next piece is a set of earrings. Now these ones, I have my doubts on them being sterling silver, and I'll tell you why. The oxidizing, that greenish patina, is more prevalent on copper, zinc, and it makes me think if this is silver, it's probably a very low content. Which, I mean, it could have just aged like that, because I have seen silver do that, but usually sterling silver doesn't do that. So I don't know. These are kind of up in there. I'll have to acid test them. But they don't have their backings. It's a little bent. Yeah, both the posts are pretty bent. That's too bad. No markings on it. This side looks like silver to me. It might be silver plated. I'm not sure. It's pretty thin. But either way, I don't think I'm going to weigh them because they have stones in them, so I'd have to deduct the stone weight to get the total sterling weight of it. No point. If I had to guess, though, probably two. One or two. They're really light. Alrighty. These guys are really cool. These are a pair of hollow silver earrings. And some sets of earrings are like that, where one pair out of the two will have the stamp and then the other will not. Mexican made silver does this a lot. I'll get a lot of pair of earrings that, especially hollow ones, where the stamp will be on one but there will be nothing on the other. But they're obviously identical. There's nothing different about them. They're both silver, you can tell. Very unique latching. I don't see that too often. Actually, I'm going to say this is probably the first time I've gotten earrings that had that type of latch. I'm not sure where these originate from. They're really pretty, though. I like them. They have that really nice filigree design. Okay. They're probably maybe 2 grams. Oh, 4. Wow. All right. Cool. And then we've got a couple more pairs. This is probably the ugliest piece I've got. This is supposed to be a bracelet. But it's really ugly. And I'm talking really ugly. So there's the 925 stamp on it. See if I can zoom in on it. So it is silver. This part also looks like it's silver. But you would unlatch it. My wrists are way too big, so I'm not gonna even try. And then you could engrave, like with the ring, you can engrave a letter in there, or a saying, or a date, or something, or whatever. And then you'd give it to I don't know. I feel like this is more for a child. You'd have to have a pretty dainty arm. Maybe a small little arm can do it. But I mean, like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. There's no way. But it's pretty heavy. I mean, let's see what we've got for weight. $14. All right, yeah. See, it's got some weight on it, so it's like $10 in silver. That's not terrible. It's not a lot though. Okay, and then we've got. Let's see here. Got these little dangly earrings. These are cool. Oh, let me get back in focus real quick. There we go. So these, again, don't have. I don't think they have markings. Let me check. Sometimes the post will say 925, but I'm not seeing that on these. I mean, it makes sense. It doesn't. It's not in here. I don't know where you'd really put it. If you did, it'd be super tiny. But it looks like amethyst stone. A little amethyst bead. Yeah, they're just post-back earrings. Little dangles. They're cute. Cool. See what they weigh. 1. Ah, focus is getting crazy. Okay. And then our last piece is going to be this one. This one's really cool. It's a brooch slash pendant, because a lot of times brooches will have a little bail built in, so you can either put it on your shirt or you can get a chain and wear it like a necklace. But this is really cool. You can see some patina that's happening in between right there. So it's nice and old. The gem, it looks like an amethyst, but I don't know. It looks like it's natural. Usually when you get all those little cracks and stuff on the inside, that's usually a sign. From what I read, like I said, I don't know a lot about gemstones. I just see them a lot in the jewelry, so I get to see them a lot, but I don't really know how to identify it. But either way, super pretty. So this one's interesting because the back has some type of printing that says, maybe we can read it. It's so tiny, honestly, and I lost my magnifying glass. I haven't been able to really get what it says, but maybe we can read it here. Oh my god, my camera. Okay, let me try to zoom out and bring it in more. Alright, we've got, oh my god, I don't know what that is. What could that even say? Oh wow, okay. I mean, I'm gonna turn my ISO up. See if that helps at all. No. It almost looks like it says, I can't even begin to guess what that says, but there is something, say something Anco, AM Anco. Kind of like this. It looks like a C, you know, at the end, but I'm not 100% sure. It's really hard to see. It almost looks like they're British hallmarks, because usually that's how many there are, but I don't know, that tiny? I don't see how I'm supposed to read that at all. Oh well. It's a super beautiful piece, so I got the lot because of that piece specifically. But let's see what it weighs. I'm gonna guess 8, 9, 6. This is probably my favorite piece. I'm gonna go ahead and say that they are British. I think they're called assays, but hallmarks. Cause this design is really common in Scottish jewelry. Specifically, this is the sithal, and you can see kind of this plant. So there's the leaves, and then the head and the stem, and then the flower part, and it's done in almost like a Maltese or Crusader cross. But very common design for that region. So that's probably exactly what it is. It's just a stamp that probably says it's silver and it was made at, you know, a certain time. I'm going to say it's not super old because this clasp is pretty modern. So if it was, I mean, the oldest it can probably be with that type of clasp. Oh, no, I'm not even going to say because I don't know. I don't want to say, but I'm probably going to be wrong. I don't know too much about the exacts on jewelry, but that is, I want to say all the way back to the 60s or 70s, maybe later, they still had those. I just know the more vintage clasps are the C hooks. So this is a more modern piece, but it's still a really nice piece, and it's beautiful too. It looks like it's aged a little bit, so it probably is a little bit, it's probably in the vintage range, at least 25 years old. So I'll probably have to get a really high-powered microscope and just look at it under that, and hopefully it's not worn off to where I can still see it. But yeah, okay. That's all the pieces. Let me move the camera so I can... Oh no, that's not all the pieces actually. Let me go through a couple more. I have a so this is a Maltese cross. This one is missing a couple little gems. I think they're called marcasite. I don't remember how to say it, but essentially they're just little reflective cones that are used to decorate. And I think this might be cornelian stone. I'm not 100% sure, but this is 800 silver, so this is definitely an older one. And it looks like there's maybe some type of mark that was at the bottom at some point, maybe a maker's mark, but the 800 lets you know that it's at least 80% silver, which is pretty common for older pieces, but this is a pretty neat piece. And we're not going to weigh that because a lot of places don't take 80% silver, they'll just take minimum sterling. Alright, and then I've got a little cross made from cubic zirconian gems. On the back you can see the 925. And the bail doesn't, oh yeah, the bail has a 925 too. So that's good. Really pretty. I like the irregular cuts. Those are pretty cool. Because usually you get one gem in the center and then it's just solid metal going out. But this one's all the way. And I might actually just I might sell these guys together because they look like they're pretty similar. And they'd probably do really well as a pair, as a set. A lot of people like to buy jewelry as a set. The chain looks like it's in pretty good condition. I don't feel or see any kinks in it. It looks like it is a standard Italian chain with a 925 clasp. Cool. And we've got, this one's pretty interesting because this one is a cross that has also been faded down to nothing on the back, so you can't really read anything that was stamped. You can kind of, I'm going to say that says 925 because the very end looks like a 5. But there's something on the other side of that I can't read. And you can tell this is a really, really, really thin molding of silver because you can see there's a hole right there. You can see my finger go through. But, I mean, that's super thin. And it looks like there's a center glass stone that has been glued a little crookedly, honestly. On the bail it says 950. So this one's interesting because it's 950, which means it would be 95% silver. But look at the oxidizing in that chain. That's pretty crazy. Every corner. I mean, it makes sense. This sits on someone's neck and then they sweat. But we've got a 950 Z6. Nothing on this side. Interesting. What an interesting piece. I don't know. I've never seen anything like that before, but it is pretty. It'll definitely sell. Religious pieces sell really well. God, I have nasty fingernails. Okay. And then this guy. This is a really pretty piece. Let me think about. Whoop. This is a Jerusalem cross. And this is a really cool piece because the necklace that's with it is a bunch of little crosses, and you can see each ring was like each welded together individually instead of bent forward like most modern jewelry. This one was like meticulously each one welded together, and then a little cross in between, which is really cool. And then the Jerusalem cross is pretty much, this is the very like typical design that you'd get for Jerusalem crosses. On the back, it's pretty cool. It has a design of what looks like birds. You can see there's a bird right there. There's a bird down here. A little bird over here. Some flowers, and it looks like branches and a star in the center. Really cool. Really well designed. The only problem with it is it looks like it was worn quite a lot, so you can't really see. There is something stamped here, probably the maker's mark, whoever made it, and then I see a 90, so it's probably at one point, that probably means 90% silver, so it'd still be considered sterling. And then the gemstone looks like an amethyst, but again, I don't know 100%, but it's really pretty. It's got some really nice, cool, like hues of blue and stuff. Can't really see it on the camera though. It's pretty in person. It's almost blue in person. But yeah, this is a really cool piece. And I weighed this earlier. It weighs 20 grams. So it's quite heavy, but not like ridiculously heavy. So it sits really comfortably on the neck. Alright, gonna put this back on its display, and then we will go over what we did. Okay. So, all of our pieces that we went through. So, everything I mentioned pretty much is what I do every time I get jewelry. So I'll weigh it out. I'll check for any marks and anything that can maybe show signs of anything fake, because when you're dealing with jewelry, you'll get a lot of fakes if you're buying in the secondhand market. It's super common, especially rings. I do want to point that out. Rings are very commonly faked. I rarely buy silver wedding bands because I've never gotten a real one before. They're always copper covered. But I'll essentially go over on what I would price this lot, what I bought it for, and yeah, we'll go through each one. So this guy, the Celtic Cross, I paid as a lot. I paid about so the lot was everything excluding the Jerusalem cross and the Maltese cross in the back. So those were not part of the lot, but everything else was part of the lot. That was about $80, which is honestly that's kind of high for this much silver. But these are really good pieces, so I know I can turn that into quite a bit more. So we'll just go piece by piece and see what we can make total. I guess I'll keep track of what I'm saying so that I can get a total. But we'll start with the Celtic Cross. So for that, I would probably end up pricing that in my shop for, I'd probably do like $40 for that. And I would only say 40 because it's got a little bit of weight on it. And I'm not saying 40 as just a pendant. I pair all my pendants up with chains. So any piece that is by itself, I always keep a chain with it. So since it has, I want to say the Celtic Cross was like 2 grams. That means I only have to get like a gram chain. So 40 means that I can make a little bit of money off of it, but it's still not too expensive for anyone who actually wants it. So we'll take that guy out. Everyone I name, I'll just take out. And then the Puffy Heart. This one has a really good selling point because it says Italy on it and it has a big a maker's mark on it, the F. It's puffy, it's old. You can tell by the patina on it, and it doesn't have any dents in it, which is really, really odd because most older pieces that are hollow like this always end up getting dropped or bumped or squeezed or something, and you'll see itty bitty little dents. So the fact this doesn't have dents is really, really cool. I'll probably honestly be able to get like close to $60 for this piece. These are really cool because they stand out more when they're on a chain because they're hollow, they look larger, and you don't have to get a hefty chain because it's pretty light. It's hollow, it doesn't pull on it. So I would do $60 on that. And then, for example, on how much money you can make from doing this, if I could just sell these pieces out at what I say I want to, I've already made my money back. So that's already that. We'll do the next piece. We'll do the B ring. So rings are really important if you're going to do these. Like I said earlier, is you really want to make sure you have a ring sizer. At least have a ring sizer, because everyone, there's no way you're going to list a ring without a size and someone's going to buy it. Like, everyone needs to know what the size is, and the most common sizes that people like are between 6, 7, 8, and then there's a lot of large people who can't find jewelry their size, so like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and up, they go really well too. Like, they sell quite a bit. This ring was a size 8 or close to an 8. So, and the fact that it has a B on it and it has a 925, you don't want to clean up any older jewelry just because older jewelry has an appeal to people. I'm not sure why, but a lot of people like it having that older look to it. That one, I would probably only do like, I don't know, $35. There's nothing too special about it, but I mean, you can tell that someone carved, they definitely hand carved it, like freehand it. That's definitely someone with like a machine leaning in and like drilling into this little piece of metal. So it's got a little bit of craftsmanship in it. That's worth something. So I'd say $35 for that. And then let's see, what else do we got? we've got the pair of earrings. Okay, so these guys, I will say, they're still really pretty. Even if they're not, completely sterling silver, I can still list them as silver because you can tell they're silver, and I will test them. You don't want to list anything you haven't tested. I'll get backings and I'll straighten out the posts. But I mean, I would say for the set, they're pretty light and pretty thin. I'd say like $30. $30 just because I'm going to put some nice sterling backs in them, and they have a nice look to them. They look old. So $30. Not bad. Okay. And then this little guy. Super tiny, honestly. I don't know what this brand is. I would say anytime you get something that has a branding in it, look it up. So S Fiore. So like if this was like Gucci or Tiffany and Co. or Gabriel and Co. or some type of really big brand. Sometimes the brand sells a lot more than the actual piece of jewelry because a lot of people will want pieces by that big brand, even if it's a little piece or an ugly piece. So checking for brand names is really important. This little piece is really cute. On a chain, it's probably going to look really nice. It's going to be a really dainty piece, but it's still, it's still a small piece of silver, and it's, most likely a lab created little gem. So I'd probably do like $30 on it. I can see someone liking that. Okay, and then the scarab. The scarab's really cool, and honestly, I can see a lot of people wanting this. It has a really cool appeal. Like any side you're wearing it, it has something to look at. Someone can add this to their bracelet pretty easy by just opening up the hoop and then closing it on. But again, it is really small, so you got to keep that in consideration when you're selling stuff. Some people, you got to make it really apparent that it is a small piece, and that when you're taking pictures, you want to compare it to something or have a ruler in there to show how small it is. But because of how small it is, I would probably, I don't know, I'd probably do 30, 35 on it, which is kind of a lot for a charm, but because it's like a 3D risen piece on like a coin looking scarab thing, I don't know, it looks really cool. So 30, I'd say on that. 30 is the magic number today, honestly. All these pieces are around 30. Okay. This bracelet. Okay. If I had to pick a piece that I regret out of this whole lot, it'd be this bracelet. It is so ugly. And honestly, I wish I might just scrap it if it doesn't sell. I'm going to put it up for like $20 and really highlight the fact that you can customize this thing. And that it's unique, and you don't see a lot of bracelets like this anymore. But it's really ugly to me. So I'll probably end up putting it in the scrap silver pile if I don't sell within like 3 months. But $20. Who knows? Maybe someone's been waiting for like that specific bracelet for so long, and they're gonna finally see it listed and be like, "Oh my god, I've been looking for that." Okay. The ring. So I said I was gonna sell this with this as a set. Just because it makes the most sense. They look very similar, and people love sets, and sets sell really well. I can sell sets of jewelry a lot quicker than singular jewelry most of the time. For this one, I would probably sell the set for about 70 bucks. It's like 35 each. I feel like 70 is pretty good, especially for this is more of a modern piece, and honestly, gemstones look a lot better polished up when it's a majority of the piece, and since these are more modern, I'm going to end up polishing them up. So this will be a lot cleaner and prettier looking, but as a set, I think 70 is pretty solid. All right, and then this brooch, I need to do more research on because I'd really like to be able to read what those say in the back, because that pretty much tells the whole story of where it's from, what it's from, who made it, when, where, why. But if I had to put a price on it without knowing that information, I'd probably still sell this for like 80 bucks. Just because it has history on it. I don't know what it is yet, but it has it. And pieces that have history and a story sell a lot quicker and a lot better. Also regional pieces sell really well. The fact that it's a Scottish Sithal design makes it more desirable for people who collect it. It reminds me a lot of during like the Great Depression era jewelry. The dogwood flower was really, really common. So you'd find a lot of jewelry in silver that had dogwood flowers. And it really depends on just, who's making the jewelry and where it's being made. But this is a really pretty piece. I don't know. I definitely will make sure I can read more about it before I decide to sell it. I also I noticed where they stamped it, it's really flat. It's like everywhere around here is bumped, bump, and then right there it's flat. So yeah, it's definitely meant to be stamped in red. But yeah, this is definitely I'd put this up there probably, well, maybe more like, I'd do 70. 80 is kind of crazy unless there's something special about it. Okay, and then these earrings. So these ones are really cool and very appealing, and earrings that are really big like this and hollow and have these type of designs are very sought after. People love these. They're not heavy, which is really nice because some people don't have, their earrings, their ears can't take a lot of weight. So these being hollow and about 2 grams each, they can be on really anyone's ear. The only thing I would say about these is you really want to be careful when you're shipping them because you don't want to damage them. They are hollow, so just like the heart, the fact that they don't have any dents in them is kind of crazy. So these are really nice. I would honestly, these would sell really quickly for 60. Just because of their appealing shape, and they do have that vintage like look. They're not like that shiny silver that you see. It's more like a bronzy looking silver, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I'd say these like a solid, actually I'd say like 75, honestly. They're really cool. But at this point, you should be getting like an idea of how much money you can make off of these things when you sell them, because these are the prices I usually go for, and I do sell them for these prices. So the cross with we'll just call it a glass stone because I don't have a tester and I'm not confident saying what it is when I don't know. But it is $9.50 on the bale. I don't know if the cross itself is $9.50. I want to say that it is. I'll probably get it tested. I'll take it in to get it scanned, but the chain and the unique design, this isn't a really common cross design that you see very often. I would probably put close to like $40 on it, just because it's $9.50 and it's a little bit more of an uncommon number for the chain. It's definitely vintage. It's kind of neat, and it is religious jewelry. For some reason, religious jewelry just sells a little bit easier. Let's see here. And then we've got the dangle amethyst silver post earrings. These are pretty cool. There's nothing super special about them. It's not a lot of silver. It's amethyst, which is, a non-precious stone. I'd probably sell these for like 25 bucks. And I almost feel bad selling them for 25 bucks because they're pretty, I don't know, maybe 20 bucks. someone would buy those for 20 bucks. Okay, so for that lot, let's see, give me 1 minute to do this. Yes, I'd say over $370. So I would be turning, what did I say I paid for it? Like around 80 into 370. And that's ballpark. I mean, I could make a little less and I could make a lot more. It really depends on how I decide to sell them. I can sell them as a bulk lot, or maybe, you know, if pieces don't sell very well, I'll go ahead and just scrap them or discount them heavily. But I just kind of wanted to make a first video on going through a lot of jewelry that I got and kind of the whole process I have for it. But the next video I'll make, I'll go ahead and show you guys how I sell them and what websites I use and how I set everything up, so that you guys can kind of get an idea of maybe how you want to do it. Or honestly, if you're interested on seeing anything that I do, just let me know and I can go ahead and show you. I'm not 100% sure on what to show in my videos, so I'm just kind of setting up the camera and filming what I do off camera, and maybe eventually it'll get interesting. But I just wanted to make a video, so thanks for watching.